Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Brent's was the first one that came around the turn there, and I kind of got emotional with his family, and then Furla came around, and I mean, I lost it. I got to be honest with you. And then they just kept they kept calling the names. I wanted a little break, you know. But it was emotional because you can't imagine what it was like, not just in the past years, but to sit there and trying to honor our alma mater and get booed at after the Villanova game. That was hard. You know, that was hard, and to do it with those guys, and then they just hung in there and hung tough, and you know, for them to be honored like that, and for those people to come out and their peers and the students to come out the way they did, you know, hopefully that's the worst we do from now on at Temple, in terms of attendance, because I think a lot of people showed them something that they not only wanted to come out, but there's a meaningful game in November, and the students came out, and you know, those are the guys that are responsible for it. You know, the coaches helped. You know, the coaches helped, but those guys hung together, stuck together, and when a lot of their peers either deserted or didn't want to make that commitment, those kids did. So it was quite emotional. Maybe that had some bearing, but I just think that they were quicker. They put in some things on both sides of the ball that gave us trouble, and they were quicker than us early in the game. We didn't really get our legs under us until halftime.
What's the recruiting pitch like now? From the time you recruited those guys to come here, and you said a lot of times they took a chance on you in this program. What was the recruiting pitch like then, and the response you get, and what's it like now?
Yeah, I really believe in recruiting. If you think big, you'll grow small. I really believe that. But if you think small, you got a chance to grow big. If you stay to your footprint, you got a chance to excel. If you stay with your plan and don't flinch and don't panic. So we're not going to change. I've seen too many teams that they have success and then they start to become national, or they want to go outside of the things that got them to where they are. And we are here today because of kids that are growing up 3 hours away from Temple. You know, the difference now maybe moving forward is some of these kids grew up hearing about Temple or watching Temple. The seniors, they didn't grow up wanting to go to Temple, I promise you. You understand? They didn't grow up wanting to go to Temple. But at least some of the kids now said, you know what, I like what they're doing over there 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe they were sophomores or freshmen, and now certainly moving forward, we're going to have more 7th, 8th graders, 6th graders that come to our camp that are going to say, you know, I like Bernard Pierce, or I like Kadeem Custis, or Brandon McManus, or some of the other local kids. Because we have a lot of local kids in the pipeline that are really doing well for us. You know, when you flat out go through the roster, Andre Neville, Muhammad Wilkerson, all these guys, they're all within 3 hours of our doorstep. So I want to continue to do that. We're getting more unsolicited mail now, but we're not going to change. We're not going to be catalog shoppers. I have complete trust in the coaches. They have the autonomy to make those decisions, and they know what I'm looking for in terms of self-starters and guys that can handle tough coaching and be disciplined and go to class every day. And that's all I ask from the staff. Boy, oh boy, that's tough because I could find that out for you, Kathy. We could find that out for them. No, that's a good question. No, that is a good question. We still have a good number now. There's 2 or 3 kids that are medically done, you know, that aren't, you know, LaRon Irwin, Dale Paris, those guys that are still going to school, going to graduate. But they couldn't compete anymore. And of course, we had a couple guys that left. But our graduation rate's going to be excellent. But I should probably, can we tie that down and get a number on that? Because the number we signed, I think we signed 22 that first year, but I don't think that's what enrolled. So we'll lock that down for you.
Kids that did stick out, they must, I guess, you know, 20 years from now, whatever, they're always going to have a special place that they did stick out.
That's it. That's why we honored our seniors. You know, we're not honoring the seniors now because we're winning. We honored their seniors, and now we're winning. You understand? We honored the seniors. We put them on the media guide. We put them downstairs, got some pictures taken. We honored the seniors because as I said to you guys, the last thing you're going to see is the wins on the field. But the seniors, the staff and I knew the seniors were ready to win, so we honored the seniors. And like I said for 3 years, the last thing you're going to see is the wins on the field. But I believe that we're doing it the right way. I believe we're building a program that won't have to go back to losing because of the infrastructure and the way we built it.
Coach, you all went to Ohio year before last, and if I'm not mistaken, you was actually still in the race.
Nah, I don't think maybe we were in some mathematical sense, but we stunk, Kevin. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you remember about that outcome? I remember that was I can't remember the tickets.
Yeah, well, they were big. I know this. You know, we went into that off season. I think that was '07. We went into that off season, and Western, Ohio, Akron. Even though we beat Akron in the last, 2-minute drill, and Buffalo were so much bigger and stronger than us. That's when our guys finally they said, you know what, we have to get bigger and stronger. We have to get stronger in the weight room, and we have to change the size of our team. Because all 4 of those teams really handled us. We obviously lost other games. We lost 8 games that year, but those guys handled us. And Ohio was a team that handled us at that stage and really beat us up pretty good. Came after us, hurt our quarterbacks, got after our quarterbacks, tackled well, were physical. But they got after us last time we went down there, and, we have to play better this time.
Next year out, that was the game you rallied in the fourth quarter, right?
Correct. And again, I'm sure they're down there today saying if we don't lose that ball, they win the game last year. But there are no records. There's no history here. There are no records. There's nothing that matters other than 11 o'clock on Friday.
Green and Brown had some big plays for you last week. What does each one of those? What makes them good at what they do?
Matty Brown, it's his competitiveness. He's tough. He's shifty, and he's got excellent vision. The one thing on his long run, I think it was a 71-yard run, the one thing that I was really struck by watching the film was how quick he got the top speed, because he got hit, and then he immediately got the top speed. He jumped the top speed quickly. He doesn't have a long stride, obviously. But he did he's been a competitor, and he's been a guy we've been trying to find a place to put on the field, and now he's got his opportunity, and he was ready for his opportunity. And that's the lesson there for a lot of the younger guys. And then Delano, I think, is a little bit more yeoman-like. Delano's been working hard. He's been our punt returner for a couple of years. Hasn't had this success, but he's always made good decisions on the ball. We trust him back there, and now he's getting the success. And I think it's a combination of not only the way he's returning the ball, but I think it's a combination of some of the blocks that he picked up. Jarrett's block, Gilday's block on that, a couple of blocks last week. So he's making plays, and he's a little bit more comfortable.
Al, with Matt, does he play with a little bit chip on his shoulder? I think one of your more memorable quotes from this year was, he said when you were recruiting Matt, you told him if you're tall enough to get on the rides at Hershey Park, you're tall enough to play here. And I think he was passed over by some programs.
Well, the point I was making, the point I was making to he and his dad is that there's a lot of people that will discriminate against height in this business, and we're not that. That's not us. That's not our organization. And that if he wanted to play Division I football, that he will be given an opportunity to do that. And obviously, he earned that. And we put him on scholarship before the season. So we stayed true to our word, and we're thrilled, obviously, that he's on our team. But I think if there's obviously an elite group of football programs in the country that can recruit size and speed, the combination. I think the rest of us have to be. We got to think outside the box, and certainly in his case, we went unconventional to get speed, and I think it's helped us.
Did you double that nickname, or?
No, I mean we got a lot of names for him. I mean I can't share them all, but Matty Biscuit, Burning the Bug. Yeah, Burning the Bug. I mean we got Bernie and the Bug.
He doesn't mind it.
No, that's what he is. He darts around back there. So Matty Biscuit and Burning the Bug. I mean that's what we go with. There's some other ones there, but kid's playing hard, and hopefully he'll continue to prepare. And, now he's got to learn to handle success too now, Harry, so that's what we got in front of him this week. So hopefully he'll do that.